Yeah! What's going on, everybody?
What's that? Whoa.
Whoa.
Hot diggity dog. Let's party, prayer, and punk rock, y'all.
That's right. We're back.
Yep. Oh, my goodness.
A little
3
hiatus,
weeks.
I guess, huh? Oh, well, I mean, you know.
It's summer.
Yeah, family life.
Yeah.
You know, things happen.
But you know what? We've had a lot of
Heat.
things happen in the 3 weeks other than heat.
That's why we're inside.
Yeah,
For
we're
sure.
going to be inside for the summer here in Texas. It's very, very hot.
Probably.
It's been 100. It was 111 today.
Yeah, that's awesome. We could broadcast outside and then, like, you guys could watch us melt.
No.
Like, on camera.
I
That'd be
know.
kind of cool.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That might be better. Maybe we get more ratings.
We're going to Austin. Oh my goodness. We're going
Yep.
to Austin.
We are.
Yeah, for the 4th of July.
It'll probably be hotter there, too.
That's what I was thinking. That's what you were saying.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm a
usually
little
usually
nervous.
more humid the further south you get towards the Gulf, you know. But yep, we're going to be heading down to Austin for the 4th. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so happy
See some
4th of
family.
July to everybody.
Yeah, happy 4th.
Um,
Hopefully everyone's going to be safe out there.
Yeah. I know. We don't have
But
hangovers.
someone's going to blow off their thumb though.
Oh gosh,
With the
no.
fireworks
Lord have
somehow.
mercy.
You've seen that one video, right?
No,
Like the
I
fam.
don't.
No, it's not a thumb being blown off. It's where like the guy goes and like sets a few of it. It's I forget where it is, like in Arizona or something like that. It was like a few months ago, but a guy sets one off in front of his house and his family's sitting there on the lawn, and he has like a minivan in the driveway, and then a big box of fireworks that's where he's grabbing them from, and then
Yeah.
going to the lawn or the sidewalk.
Oh,
But I guess it like
no.
turns over one of the sparks and hits the box,
Oh,
and
no.
all of them explode at the same time. And I mean,
Inside his vehicle?
well, no, it was next to the
Oh,
vehicle,
okay.
and so like if you
Still.
see the video, maybe we should try and find it and put that up.
Put it up. Yeah.
But it's insane because I mean, it literally boom, and then I mean, it just shoots everything
Terrifying.
across the lawn, and like luckily. Like the moms had grabbed like the lawn chairs and some of the
Yeah.
kids because I mean it was shooting right at that area.
Oh
you know?
my goodness.
It was
Be
crazy.
careful,
Yeah.
people.
So be careful with your fireworks.
Oh
It's kind of
my
funny though. Like I know in
goodness.
Long Beach you couldn't do fireworks, but then in Lakewood you could.
Yeah.
And so it was literally like
What's
across the
Texas?
street, depending on the county. You know, like
Oh.
up in Wise County, like Springtown, that
Yeah,
area. I
you
think you
can.
can, but Tarrant County, like where
No.
we live, can't.
Yeah.
You know.
Where
So-
do you go if you live here where we live, over in this DFW
What, to try and-
area? Where would you go?
Like if we bought fireworks, somebody to set them off,
No, like where would
Out
you
front.
go to see? We're going to be...
just right out front.
No, we're going
No.
to Austin, but we've never
Yeah.
been here for 4th of July. So
No,
where
not
would
really.
we go if we stayed in Texas, like
To
in
view
our
the
area,
fireworks?
Not Texas, but like our area of Texas. I heard that the YMCA Bedford
Yeah, they have like a
YMCA
Fourth Fest.
has
Yeah.
like something local.
Yeah, they do
you
a
can
fireworks show there.
do.
I know downtown Fort Worth does one, and then I think
Does Dallas? Like every city does one.
pretty much. Yeah.
I think Grapevine. I actually was listening.
Yeah, and like North Richland Hills and
So
some of the
every
other...
city basically has
Kinda,
their own
yeah.
jam.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have their own little one, and and then like the Fort Worth or the Dallas one or whatever, in downtown. Those are usually the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. Be careful out there. Don't light your
view the fireworks,
People
but
on
just
fire.
don't not while you're driving. Yeah, don't light people on fire.
don't light.
That would be a
Yeah.
good tip for 4th of July. Let's not light people on fire.
Hey,
Let's light the fireworks and not people.
it was
Yeah, but seriously, be careful, especially if you're drinking.
yeah. So it was Father's Day.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, there's been a few
Yeah, it's
things.
Father's Day. Was that 2 weeks ago, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty chill.
So
I
that
can't
was
even remember
cool.
what we did now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like losing my memory, I swear.
Well,
It's like, oh yeah, but in 1984, I was turning left on Broadway,
I know.
and then it's like, what'd you eat last week for lunch? I have no idea.
I know.
you know?
You know every actress and every actor's name from everything, no matter what, even the janitor.
Not everyone. No. Oh, come on, man.
Really?
The Breakfast Club, though. That's why. That's why he was known. Weird
Yeah.
Science. That's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same guy
Well,
that was at the
I
janitor.
don't know. You have
Because he tells him that clock is 20 minutes slow.
Huh?
He tells him at the end, by the way, that clock's 20 minutes slow. Or 2 minutes slow or something like that. It's pretty
yeah,
funny.
at the very end, he
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Yeah. So What else has been going on the last couple of weeks other than Father's Day?
I'm on vacation this week.
Mm-hmm.
I am on vacation.
That's so nice. Just
Nathaniel
like a
got accepted to Texas
staycation.
A&M.
Yes, that
That is super cool.
Oh yeah,
we did have a week
carousel,
to ourselves.
Summer of pinkness.
Summer pinkness.
We have 2 weeks of adulting with
Yeah,
no kids this
because I have
summer.
this week off, and then in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the end of July, 20th something.
Yeah.
I get another week off, and yeah, we're not gonna have kids here.
Yeah, Jack is going to California,
Yep.
and the kids are going on a cruise with their mother.
Yep.
So we will have a week together.
Yep.
No kids.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll
It's gonna be
podcast
super
during
dupers.
that time.
Yeah, we'll try and podcast during that time. No, yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
Be appropriate because.
Seriously, come on now.
I know.
Try it out of the gutter. This is a Christian program.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about punk rock. No.
Yeah.
No.
We have not prayed, honey.
No, we haven't.
Oh, we got right up in it.
We did get right up in it. Do we want to go into our Jesus calling, and then we can say a prayer when we're done, and then get into our entertainment activities, or do we just want to go ahead and say the prayer first?
I'll pray and
Let's
then
just
we'll
pray
do
this
Jesus
prayer.
calling.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Totally.
All right.
Cool.
Dumb question.
Oh, thank you, Father, for this day, for this time, for summer. Thank you for our podcast. Thank you for all the people who are listening. May we all be blessed by your spirit in our own very special way that we need you most. Call upon you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
So for Jesus Calling, it was kind of interesting. We were both discussing about what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
And I was saying...
Because we're not always trying to talk about Jesus calling. It's kind of doing our own little thing.
Yeah.
Maybe some verses that we heard during the week or a service or, just kind of maybe our own little Bible studies, reading the Bible, stuff like that. But then, yeah, we were kind of discussing it, and
it's
then
like
what?
The same similar thread kept coming up. Like worry, but God always providing. And like we should just kind of relax and like realize He's got us.
It's that sense of, the anxiety that you feel, like,
fear,
waiting on
worry.
something or needing help with something,
Not
yeah.
having the right answers or all the answers when it comes to our kids. That makes it real difficult. We've been kind of struggling with some of that stuff. And I feel like,
Yeah, the kid issues for sure,
That's so emotional. Like children... like your children's stuff. It's so emotional.
Yeah.
And I feel like, He is a good father and He wants us to ask His parenting, like advice from, the top dog.
Yeah.
And
the main man,
yeah.
the main father.
And mainly, not that I feel like anything was resolved per se in our own personal situation, but I do feel like peace has been kind of brought to our situation.
I think it opened our heads a little bit to trying alternate methods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How to talk to the kids, or, honestly, it's just in the thought process alone. I think like we all just worry too much about whether it is a job or our children or finances or
whatever it is.
Whatever it could be, our car or, our clothes or whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, we all have a tendency just to worry, and these anxieties set in, and I mean, and reading Jesus Calling, that's kind of like what we were trying to figure out what to talk about. It was kind of just talking about, allowing God to, God's timing is perfect, you know what I mean? And sort of like,
it was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about it, and
exactly.
then you turned to Jesus Calling, and you're like, everything we're talking about is what Jesus Calling is
yeah,
about
and
today.
it's
and I'm like, of course it is.
Well, and it's kind of like how, like I always reference, like when my mom would tell me, look, at one point I just had to say, Lord, I give you my will, I give you my all. This is where you want me to be. This is what you want me to do. All that, and that kind of that was sort of included in all that, And so I thought it was interesting. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and get into Jesus Calling?
Oh, yeah. Well, when you
say?
do give your all and your will, when you say it, you manifest that alignment with Jesus.
Yeah.
It like, hey,
And it kind of
like, let me align my heart with you so that not only maybe things don't change, but at least I feel good with you in the storm and whatever it is that we're going through.
right, and allowing yourself time for that, and I think that's a big issue too, is it's not even a matter of, everything's there for us to find, you know what I mean? Maybe we even have phones where you can go, give me a Bible verse on how to tell my child they're an idiot, you know what I mean? But okay, maybe not like that, but but the problem is the time, and it's the time that we allow ourselves, you know what I mean? And I think that that's the biggest problem, is that we don't allow ourselves time, even though, if you really if we could collectively think back to an entire day and then actually think about how much time of that we actually do waste, you know what I mean, where we say we're busy but we're not, you know what I mean, and maybe it's those 5 minutes or 10 minutes where we're just like, oh, God, I just need a break, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, you know what I mean, but like, there's always time available. It's a matter of you finding it, whether it is just driving the kids to school or drop them off at a friend's house or whatever it might be, even if they're in the car, at some point you dropped them off, then you maybe have a chance to, have a second on your way back. Exactly.
When you poop, pray.
Right.
Okay?
And that's what I mean. Like,
poop
there's
and pray.
always,
Poop and pray.
there is always, because time doesn't always have to be, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Of course, the more time you allow yourself, the better. But, if any time that you allow yourself with the Lord,
it's gonna bring you peace.
Right. And maybe it is 5 minutes that you find yourself in the bathroom, or 15, 20 for some people, 35 for my brother.
I love praying in the shower.
Sure, exactly.
Like
I say a lot of my morning prayer and kind of readiness on the way to work in the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just wherever you can kind of, find that time,
And worship in the car.
And but it's also kind of a matter of, to me as well, like, trying not, like, I find myself sometimes trying to rush through it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting to work or something like that. Okay, I've only got a few minutes, let's hurry this up, kind of feeling. It's like, wait, and then, so now I've actually been kind of like stopping on the side before I get into work and kind of finishing it up real quickly and then going, all right, and then going,
Really? Hey, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. I stopped by, like, it was by like a daycare. And then I realized, like, there's a few, like, cops had going by kind of looking at me. I'm like, oh, wait, like, maybe hanging out
like
right next to
a man.
Yeah, and it was, like, playtime, and they're all on the playground. I'm like, oh, crap, maybe I need to get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah, but
allowing yourself that time, and I think that's the problem, too, is that even if we allow ourselves a minute, sometimes we're trying to rush through it as quickly as we can, and, sometimes you just, even if you... To me, and sometimes I've done it too. I'm like, hey, you know what? Pause. I've got to run an errand here in a minute, so we'll get back to that in a second or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's kind of interesting.
Talk to him like your best friend. Like, just talk to him all day long. There's different ways of prayer for me, for sure. Like that meditative, I'm really trying to shift the molecules in my brain, in my heart, because I don't feel well for some reason. That's a prayer. That's a surrender.
That's a not driving kind of prayer.
That's a not driving prayer. Yeah.
Right.
But the type of driving prayer is the kind that, and I think that this really ends up serving you, is that you pray for others on your way to work. But as you pray for others, that, like, really fills your heart, because God made us up that way.
Well, we're supposed to, if you ask me, that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, we're supposed to care about everybody,
And I love
for
that
sure.
When you become, like, selfless in that moment, thinking of others, you, like, step out of who you are, and, like, really he can bless you in that space. But also, I like that you admit that, because I think a lot of us don't even want to admit that we'll, like, rush through our prayers to make sure, I want to make sure I get through you and the kids and
you know what I mean?
And I will be honest, I don't pray, like, over the amount of people you pray for every day. Like, I kind of bunch them together, like my brothers and my sisters, like, I don't, like, every single naming, every single person.
Aunt Susie, Aunt Carolyn, Uncle Bill.
Yeah. That really is dedicated time. And God sees that, blesses you for that. Not that you're doing it to be blessed, of course. But anyway, I went down a rabbit hole of prayer, but I do I do think that, like, there is kind of different types of praying, and God doesn't need speeches either. It can be like, hey, Lord, I love you. Thank you. And, like, moving on. He's like, thanks for that check-in, girl, boy, whatever.
Yeah. Boy or girl.
Boy or girl. All right.
Yeah, there were a couple verses, like, where he talks about it. And, like, Jesus himself even took time to make sure that he...
Took a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, he made sure he had his alone time. And I mean, like it says here, even in Luke 5:16, well, in 15, it talks about how yet the news about him spread all the more. So the crowds of people had come to hear him, and to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus withdrew to lonely places and prayed, and I think that's a bit, that's very symbolic, of course, what I mean? Like, even in the midst of everybody clamoring for his attention, he had to take time for himself and his Father, and
he was in a human body, and there is such temptation in these bodies.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was made human.
Spend time with God, or it will take over you. Even Jesus was showing us what to do, and I love that. But it shows, like, that's how tempting this world is too.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Jesus needed to make sure that he stayed connected with his Father. Could you imagine, like, if Jesus is a perfect being, but even if he just went outside the realm of not talking to his Father for days on end, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? You wonder, like, man,
I don't want to think about it.
It wouldn't even happen. I mean, hey, he had 40 days and 40 nights, and he still didn't do anything,
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting,
well,
and I mean, he even needed to. Oh yeah, well, that's why he was sent down. I mean, I think, like Isaiah had spoke of, the coming of Christ, and I think it was it seems like to me sometimes, like, you wonder if God at some point was just kind of like, dude, like, it's part of his plan, you know what I mean? But, like, all right, these guys need to see him, see me for they need to see this in human form so they can understand what it is I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you wonder, if he was kind of like getting frustrated.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
Dude, all right, look, I'm going to send my son down. He's going to tell you about me. Like, I mean, geez, people. I had to deal with these people trying to spread the seas, and then they're getting mad about manna. Gotta crack rocks for water. These people are just complaining. Yeah, it's like, wow, it's funny.
It's like he was quiet for years.
Yeah, because it was 400 years or something like that.
Handle us.
Well, and I mean, Isaiah, spoke of what was going to happen. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of interesting. Yeah, like, okay, the time frame. Like, I mean, God's timing is perfect. He knew when all this should have started. And so it's just kind of interesting to think about what did happen in that time frame. But I mean, him coming down, you can only imagine, like, I mean, Jesus walking the earth, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be insane. That'd be crazy. And then to, like, these people that wouldn't even believe it, that's.
Well, and it's so fascinating that God sent down a perfect being and everything that happened, and then, like, there's so much people who don't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like.
But I think that verse too, Luke 5:16 is symbolic in the fact that when it does talk about that, like, but Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Like, the fact that all these people, like it said, are clamoring for his attention, but he still finds time to pray. Like, even in our lives, it doesn't matter if kids are clamoring at your attention. It's like a metaphor for our times. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, even though, look, I mean, people are going to be pulling at your shirt, or mom, dad, or, this, that, and the other. Someone's honking their horn. I mean, we still need to stop, even if all these people want to see you and need to talk to you. Take a deep breath and find a lonely place and pray, I mean, that's kind of interesting, a lonely place.
I like
Find
that.
A lonely place.
Yeah.
A place that is not inhibited by people.
Yeah.
Or noise or anything like that,
and
Unfortunately, in Texas, there's no lonely places, because even in the middle of the night, if you wanted to go for a walk, there's cicadas that are like all over your head. Yeah. But whatever. That's fine.
They're really loud right now.
They are really loud.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, though.
I think
Lonely
of it
Place,
this way, too. Not only
Excuse me.
like lonely, like quiet and alone, but also within yourself. Like when we are lonely, that is a feeling of desperation to wanting to feel
and sometimes,
close to someone. So think about that.
Yeah,
The
exactly. That's a good point.
Wanting that closeness to feel God, to fill that space. Because I feel like we're really not supposed to feel fully and completely safe, until we have Him with us and can acknowledge it,
Yeah.
And so it's like within us to feel that void be filled by Him, Anyway, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So much wisdom and just like a sentence you could like just talk
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it for so long,
It is funny how in certain verses, when you look at them, I mean, you can read them a certain way, but then if you really kind of open it up, then, I mean, if you stop and look and pay attention to certain things, and I'm not saying every verse, because obviously, whoa, that'd be a lot. But yeah, something just as simple as that, Yeah. It's kind of interesting that it could mean so much more than, just a single sentence. It could, you could really relate it to a lot of different things. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
And
moving on.
We talking about feelings. We saw Inside Out too.
Oh, we did.
It was all about feelings.
Yes.
And anxiety and stress and worry.
And it was good. Now, okay, Inside Out to me was just, to me it's one of the best Pixar movies they've ever made.
The first one.
I mean, yes.
Yes.
I mean, Toy Story and those movies are great because they're very inventive and they're clever in the way that they do certain things. But I really thought that Inside Out was just so clever, in the way that they made the way we think and act, and the human brain works, and it was just really interesting,
It's
and
funny.
after that first one, when they ran the credits and it showed like what the animals were thinking, or the boy where it's like girl, and everyone's running around in his brain like and I always thought it'd be so cool to see them as teenagers, and so that's what this one is, and it's not bad, but the original 4 emotions was a joy, sadness, disgust, and anger, right? Or fear. 5, I guess, right? Sorry.
And anger,
they were pretty funny. No, it's not Bill Hader doing Fear anymore. Barry. It's Tony Hale who.
He had a couple of really good lines.
Fear did. I mean, and the other characters, or the other new emotions like anxiety. Like, what was it? Sort of boredom, I guess, or what they call
anxiety
weef or whatever.
Drove me nuts.
Yeah.
How appropriate.
Right. And I thought she did a good job, but to me it just didn't seem as inventive as the first one.
Who was the actress who played it?
It's Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
The girl, the girl from Stranger Things, the newer character, whatever.
I like her. I liked her voice.
I thought she did well doing the character, because she was all over the place, spastastic and everything. But, what was embarrassment? Like, really, the character didn't do anything, and then
you could get it.
The boredom one, she just was like,
Is that
and then...
Was it a girl or a boy?
I guess it was a girl.
Tell.
It was like a goth. Marilyn Manson. I don't know.
It was a boy.
And then what was the other one? There was like, Envy.
Envy.
And I don't know. They weren't... It just wasn't as funny to me as and inventive as the first one. I thought the special effects are great. It had a few cool things like the sarcasm, but it didn't have like enough of those. You know what I mean?
Sarcasm river.
Yeah.
And so they made jokes.
The river of consciousness, and why is it blah?
But it was a very similar story to the first one, where there was.
Now it's just her. Yeah,
they had to find their way back.
Right. Yeah, the characters inside her brain. Yeah. And this one, the girl Riley's dealing with going to hockey camp, and just fitting in and
da 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 da. Boyfriend or something, but that didn't happen.
Maybe there's going to be a part 3, and it's like Riley gets married.
Because they tease
Riley
that
goes to
with
college.
like the little small, Inside Out.
Nostalgia.
5-minute, videos that they did after they made the first original movie, where the little boy goes there and picks her or visits her or whatever, and it's 5 minutes, small, but So I'm, oh yeah, that must be like a thing where, they're like dating or something, and it's like, no, that boy didn't show up at all. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Interesting. All right.
I thought nostalgia was kind of funny.
The grandma.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of funny. I mean, it had a few. It was funny.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
and
not
it was
time
like,
for me yet.
and it was like heartwarming. You know what I mean? It
Sure.
pulled on the heartstrings there. You know what I mean? But to me, just not as good as the first one.
Yep.
I agree. But it'd be like giving the first one a 4 and this one like a 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I'm on the same page with those reviews, for sure.
And then
we also saw
Bad Boys 4.
What you gonna do?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, what do you think?
I mean, it was fun. It's like, Will Smith, after the slap, got to give him some grace, I guess, and just kind of move on.
Yeah.
I love Martin Lawrence. He is freaking hilarious.
He is.
And I feel like
he was kind of giving his time to shine in this movie, I think.
He had a lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
He had a lot of good, like, one-liners.
Right, yeah.
And I also love that he loves Jesus. He, like, loves Jesus.
Well,
like,
in the movie, in the movie,
it
was definitely all about
the character that he plays,
and it was good, like, his character has a heart attack at Will Smith's wedding.
Yeah.
And, right? It was his wedding.
Yeah, and that was kind of weird. They went from the last one to this one, because we watched the last one.
Yeah, because it sort of ties into the third one. And not really the first two, but the third one.
He's like a player. So to have the movie start with his wedding, you're like, wait, what? There's such a disconnect in that space. And then they try to like, he was sick and that was his therapist and blah, his physical therapist, and like kind of laughing off and then you're supposed to buy it. But whatever.
Right.
That's kind of like lazy writing, in my opinion. But, it's Bad Boys.
It's supposed to be more about the action or whatever. Yeah. I like the opening sequence in the grocery or in the liquor store and he gets held up or whatever, because that actually happened in the first one. There was like a whole sequence with it and, or whatever. So it was kind of fun. And the action was pretty good. I mean, the action was pretty decent.
Too,
and it moved pretty quickly. It was about 2 hours, and it moved pretty.
Chemistry.
Yeah, and it did really seem like this was more Martin Lawrence's movie than Will Smith.
Yes.
In this one, Will Smith was a little bit more toned down, and I don't know if it had anything to do with previous things. Yeah, but it just really seemed like Martin Lawrence really kind of was more on point in this movie than in the other ones. He was sort of
a new wife for him.
Yeah, it wasn't Teresa Randall.
Yep. It was a different.
Yeah, it was another lady, but whatever.
That was kind of a bummer.
But most of the characters though are from all the other movies, and in fact, that was one scene that was actually really cool when the son-in-law who's been in the other movies, and he's the Marine, and he was back, and he ended up like kicking 8 people's asses or whatever in the house, and they're all watching it from. That was pretty cool. I mean, that whole sequence was actually pretty cool. I like seeing that.
The same actor?
Yeah, the kid from that. He started in Bad Boys 2, and he came to the door to date his daughter.
Did not know it was the same actor.
Yeah, they've been using that same actor in the third, and he's always had the small part, like he just shows up in the beginning for a family function, and you're just supposed to go, oh yeah, that's the kid from da-da-da. And then so like him being like that, he actually got to do some stuff. It was like, dude, right on. It was cool. That whole sequence was cool. I like that.
Did not know that backstory, so now the ending is even more like, Now I like it even more. I'm going to give that like a 4, man. It was good. I had a good time watching that.
It was good.
We did watch it though when we had no kids too.
Yep.
Which I think definitely plays a difference in my liking. If you're like on a fun date night with your husband.
Just finish your Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get some more popcorn in a minute. Hold on.
It's a
bathroom, what?
Experience for sure.
Another hour. One more hour. It's rated R. I thought you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's boring. I don't like it. It's what's talking. The guy's like foreign, and I have to like read it. I swear, if it's not like a YouTube short, then it's like the kids have a tough time. It's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, me and Sam saw Monkey Man. That's kind of the newer one that came out maybe a month or so ago, and now it's already streaming on Peacock, actually.
Did you like it?
But it was good. It's a little bit kind of almost confusing, I think, because it's about, like, Jordan Peele produced this movie. He's a guy that's done the Get Outs and all that stuff,
Oh, yeah,
Key and Peele and all
great.
that. But this movie was made, it was written and directed and starring the guy Dev Patel. Like, I don't know if Slumdog Millionaire is what he was in. He's also in the movie Lion. He's in that movie Chappie, actually, too. He's the one that's in this movie Chappie we're going to watch. But it's a story. It's kind of like a John Wick story. Like, his family had been killed by these bad people, and he's sort of like this underground boxer who is trying to find the people that killed his family.
Yeah.
And slowly he works his way up the ladder to finding the people. Yeah. But it's like the way he gets there, like, you're kind of like confused, like, oh wait, did he plan this out? Or did this just so happen that it fell in his lap? Certain things like that.
So you still have those questions? Like, you're still not sure?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, more or less the story is he going to kill the bad guy? And he had kind of like the John Wick hand-to-hand combat action scenes and stuff.
Like,
it was good. I mean, it was entertaining. It definitely was entertaining.
Sam liked it?
Yes, he did like it as well.
13-year-old approved.
13-year-old approved. Yes. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a decent movie, especially streaming on Peacock. But if you like the John Wick kind of action movies, then you'll like this movie. Yeah, for sure.
So you live like this different life after I go to sleep, and you watch like so many movies without me.
Watch this different life as I'm laying in bed next to you.
Next to me, but you watch
eating peanuts and waking you up with a crunch.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. But we watched Beverly Hills Cop 1.
We did.
But then you finished the series, right?
2 and 3.
2 and 3 while I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not in one night, but
Not in one night, but like...
Yeah. Over the course of a week or two.
Well, because you watch a lot of Marvel stuff that I don't... Like, in our podcast, we've mentioned, like, Marvel shows that you've seen that I haven't watched and stuff. So
but,
it's funny. You have this... Because, I pass out so early. I'm always so sleepy.
Yeah.
So,
I drug you.
awesome.
You don't know that.
In my soda waters.
Yeah, exactly. All right, it's 11 o'clock. She should be going to bed in 5 minutes,
So
and I can get that 25-minute episode in, be in bed at 11:30.
Yeah.
Go to bed at 4.
I have, like, if I lay on your chest and watch TV.
I know, that does
that's
it.
Like,
You're...
boom. Out. Yeah.
Yeah, so we caught up on the Beverly Hills Cop. We watched the first one, and then,
Yeah, I haven't seen the second or the third one, but...
Have you never seen them?
You're
Really?
gonna make me watch it.
Well, no, we don't have to watch them. No.
Do we need to watch them to watch the new one?
Not really. I mean, I haven't seen this brand new one that's coming out. That was why, like, I was watching them. We watched the first one, and then the second one is better than the third one, but because the third one's just kind of weak, even though it's got a few funny. Eddie Murphy's got a few funny lines in it. It's kind of weak compared to the first one and the second one.
I don't think that
this new one has all the original cast in it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Paul Reiser.
That's cool.
Is even in it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think that I like Eddie Murphy as much as you do.
No. He's funny.
I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's funny, but he's like, to me, like, that's not that funny.
Well, that laugh isn't. No.
No.
I mean,
know.
it's...
I think he thinks a lot of himself. I saw him on that, like, Jimmy Fallon
interview or whatever,
and he's just like thinks very highly.
No, it's weird. Like, I guess he's not a very public person. He's like De Niro or even like Adam Sandler. Like they're just kind of like more introverted. You know what I mean? And when when they're on screen, that's when they can finally get it all out, and then it's like they go back to sort of folding their hands again. It's so weird. Like, he's like an Adam Sandler to me. Where it's like, they're very, like, introverted when they're...
He was not, like, introverted. He was, like, arrogant.
I don't know.
In that, like, I don't know.
I didn't...
Whatever. I think he's funny, but I don't think he's as funny as he thinks he's funny.
I don't know.
But I know that you like him, so...
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Beverly Hills Cop movie, for sure.
I'd like to see it.
I want to see it. It's on Netflix for, like... it's so weird to me.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, they wouldn't actually have that in the theater.
Yeah.
You would think people would go and see that. You know what I mean?
Because when was the last time he did a movie? wild.
Well, I mean, like a
Or
live.
like a Dr. Doolittle or something.
Oh man, I don't know him.
Was that
Like
like-
live, like because he did the Shreks and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
millions
Shrek,
doing
that's
that.
right, with the
But
donkey.
which they're making another one too.
They are?
They're making a 5. Yeah.
What?
They're talking about
bring
that.
it on. I like. Me
And they're fun, and, and
it's
you know,
funny.
and like his voice in that, it's pretty funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's where he's always been funny. It's always been like kind of like the things that he says, like not making fun of other people, but like they'll say something. Oh, what, huh? I don't know. It's the way he kind of reacts.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but yeah, his voice has always been kind of funny.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, I like him as a donkey for sure.
You like Eddie Murphy as a jackass?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's probably fine.
No.
He
I mean,
kind of like was really into himself. I'm not that like rubbed me the wrong way, but
yeah,
he's done a lot of stuff.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Like, I would guess I would be into myself too if I was super rich and loaded and did a lot of things.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know. But yeah, I look forward to enjoying that with you as you enjoy it.
I look forward to enjoying that with you as you enjoy it. I'll enjoy you enjoying
Enjoying
it
it.
because I won't be enjoying
No,
it, but
I
I'm going
will.
to
I'm
enjoy
sure it'll
your
be funny.
enjoyment in the enjoyment of Beverly Hills Cop.
Is he supposed to be like the same guy like years later and everything?
What do you mean in the movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Like
the movie's made 40 years after the original too.
Holy
I was 8
cannoli.
years old when I saw that in the theater. I saw it in the theater.
You did?
Yeah, I remember my dad picked us up after church on a Sunday. It was 11 o'clock in the morning or whatever time we got out of church, and
And you were
saw
8
Beverly-
years
I
old?
was 8 years old.
Is it rated R?
Oh yeah, I mean the first Beverly Hills Cop. I mean
Right
any
after
Eddie Murphy
church?
movie is always. Oh yeah, he picked us up. My mom had taken us. I remember.
Did
and then
she
he
know
picked
you
us
were
up.
going to see that? Probably not.
She usually didn't know. She just, all right,
Yeah.
you guys,
Enjoy
yeah,
it.
we're gonna go
Yeah.
see a movie. I mean, I don't think she knew. No, I don't even think she did because I think we told her what we saw afterwards, and she was like, "What?" And then someone said like, "Oh yeah, they say like the F." I mean, they say the F word like 20
lot,
times in the
yeah.
beginning in the opening sequence when he's
Oh.
dealing with the cigarette people. It's kind of fun, yeah.
I know, it's like a total random, but other movie that reminds me of a lot of cussing is Terminator 3 or something.
No, 6.
6.
Oh, you're talking about the one
With
where
Linda
Homegirl comes
Hamilton.
back. Yeah, Sarah Connor comes
oh
back.
my gosh, every other
Yeah.
word is the F word.
That was kind of funny. That was kind of like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't, I mean, even in the second one when she was hard already, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She wasn't like that,
She
but
didn't even, like,
I guess it was just because she was like, I think she was an alcoholic,
angry.
right? And she was, all that
She's
time, I
very
guess.
angry and
I guess it
mad.
makes sense. I guess
Mhm.
it makes sense. But yeah, she said more F words than Eddie Murphy did, for sure, in that movie. That's fun.
So, TV wise.
Moving on to TV.
Yeah, we finished Dark Matter.
We finished Dark Matter, and that was pretty good.
That was good.
I
Yeah.
guess that's sort of like a, excuse me, season finale. Because the way they played
Yeah,
it
I
off,
think
it
they're
wasn't a
coming back.
series finale.
It
Yeah,
looks
because
like
it didn't.
they're coming
Yeah.
back. I don't
Which
know
sucks
for
because
sure.
a lot of these are based on ratings. So it's like, okay, this is the season finale, and then they
Oh,
go, oh, you know,
God,
we don't
they
have any
come
funding,
back.
so we're gonna cut that. And you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But hopefully this one will come back. It was good. It's interesting.
It has a very similar Loki
Inception,
like,
yeah,
Inception,
time travel
like,
thing.
Yeah, time travel vibe and like going into different worlds and
Yeah, it's not so intricate on the fact that like going to different worlds and touching or messing with something alternates something. It's just like the characters trying to.
they multiply.
Yeah,
time he
which
goes
is kind of
into a
interesting, but
every time
Yeah.
he goes into a new world, he
Well,
becomes.
that's the last episode, I think, isn't it? Are they not supposed to know that? That they
Okay, let's
multiply.
say anything then. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can't. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't want to
If you've
spoil
seen
the
it, it's
ending.
interesting. Yeah,
It's
because they
very
do that. It's like,
interesting,
whoa! All of a sudden, this different
Okay.
thing happens.
I don't know. Well, I guess you would have to say it's a spoiler, but you should watch it. It's
Eh,
really good.
Yeah.
Did you think it was did you like the end?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Were
It
you
kind of
happy?
felt like it was missing something. You know what I mean? Didn't it? I don't know. It just felt like it was.
I wanted more.
That's what I
what I
mean. I
think.
mean, it just felt like it was missing something,
Yeah,
like
like
something that it could because for one thing, like
Looking forward to a next season if they do.
Yeah, and I mean, and I guess maybe that's what it is
because
the best friend Ryan, the bad guy, threw him into one world and then had to go dig up some other Ryan to kind of,
Yeah.
But the original Ryan, you don't know what happened. You know what I mean? And they kind of left all these things open. So I mean, I'm just kind of hoping that they will, because the way they ended it's like, okay, that's sort of like the end of an episode, not a season finale. You know what I mean? Like, I was just hoping they would talk more about that.
You either have to not care about what happens to those characters and just go, well, they're out in the
Unless they're
nowhere.
gonna, talk more about it in the second season, if there's gonna be a second season.
They didn't finish the story on.
But I mean, maybe they're gonna delve on that a little bit more in the second season. Just hopefully they have one. Then you're not like, all right,
bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one we started, a newer one, Eric.
This is weird.
It's weird. It's on Netflix.
This is weird, but he has mental health issues, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the wife, so he's an alcoholic, drunk person, and his son is missing. And so he is going underneath a lot of stress, and he's a puppet maker.
Yeah, it's
and
all this,
he's
exactly.
Walking around seeing this big, huge monster puppet thing telling him what to do, but no one else sees him. It's like an imaginary friend that he sees.
Yeah, it's like set in the 80s, and this guy, cool. he runs, it's kind of like Sesame Street, essentially. It's like his own...
puppets are.
Yeah, it's as he created the show, and he's the head puppeteer. And it's set in the 80s or whatever, in like New York, I guess. And it's the guy that played the guy that played Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch or something like that. And then I think it's interesting, the wife's played by Gabby Hoffman, who she was like a child star. Like, she was a little girl in Field of Dreams, you know, like the little daughter of Kevin Costner was like, they'll come, daddy, da-da-da. And then the kid, the uncle picks her up, and then she chokes on the hot dog, and Moonlight Graham has to come out and save her. Sorry. All right. Anyway, she's like, she's the mom in this. It's kind of funny. Like, God, man, everyone's like grown up now and feels so old. But yeah, their son goes missing, and so there's a detective that's looking for the child. That's the whole thing what it's based around. But then, he's like, the father's a head puppeteer, and he's like this alcoholic guy, and his son is created, right before he went missing, this puppet named Eric, or that he names Eric. I don't know if it was going to be called Eric, but he names it. And it's like a big old, it looks like what was his name? In Monsters Inc.?
The big monster, the big blue
Mike
monster.
And... Oh man, what's his name?
But
the big guy.
The big blue one.
Yeah, and it's like, he ends up he thinks that creating this puppet will bring his son back, but then he's kind of going crazy because he's the only one that sees this puppet. Like, it's already manifested and it's already like walking around.
The wife said, well, he hasn't taken his medicine. Or the mom said, you need to take your medicine.
Yeah, you need to be taking your medicine again.
So obviously he's got some sort of illness.
Yeah. And so
issue.
While they're looking for his son.
And his little chubby friend is really nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he's been in a couple of things too. He's been in a couple of different movies. Mm-hmm. Like Balls of Fury was one. Take Me Home Tonight. He was kind of a...
See what I mean? Look at, what is this random information you remember?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's interesting. We're on episode, I think we just finished 3. There's a total of 6 episodes. It's only a limited series, so it's just these 6 episodes, and that's it. So we should have a resolution, but we'll see how that works.
We have halfway through, we are finding out that the kid...
Well,
don't say anything.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting. I mean,
last show.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I want to tell you about it.
But it is different, that character, seeing that actor play Doctor Strange and then seeing him play this
alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he's a dick. I mean, he really is. He's
just
like
him at all. Like, if he were to die, I'd be like, oh, that's probably better.
I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of redemption here, and it's showing how crappy of a character. Yeah, I know, that's kind of messed up. But I mean, it's like seeing this character, but just hoping that there's going to be some sort of revelation out of it, But we'll see.
If there's not a good ending, you know me, I'm going to be real mad.
You're going to beat me up?
I'm going to be real mad. I won't beat you up, but
We'll just have to
I'm
watch
gonna
the
be
other
mad.
show that we're watching right now.
Yes, so this one's really funny.
It is. It's awesome.
Laudermilk.
Loudermilk. Yeah. And it's Ron Livingston is the lead. He plays Loudermilk, and he's the guy that was the.
I just spelled it wrong.
Oh, huh? Laundry Milk?
Laundry milk.
Launderland?
Yeah, but he's the guy
Yeah,
who's
Loudermilk.
in that movie that's really funny.
Office Space. Yes, he's the lead in Office Space. I mean, that's where everyone's
That's where I know
probably.
him
Yeah,
from.
exactly. Everyone's pretty much going to know him from that movie.
And he acts like that guy, but like with customs.
Kind of, yeah. Because his character, he's a recovering alcoholic, and he had a pretty bad thing that happened. He's divorced, and he's a recovering alcoholic. Now he teaches, or he runs a support group, but he kind of just says it how it is. He's not really. He's not nice about it. He's like, look, you have a problem. Da 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 da.
But
and
it's
so
hilarious.
It's really funny.
Wish you could say sometimes to
Right,
people
you know what I mean?
says.
And some of the people, like his roommate is Will Sasso, who was on Mad TV. He was a big fat white guy on that show. And he's funny.
They're always funny.
And his character's got his own problems. He's like supposed to be his sponsor, but he's like got bottles of booze that he's got around the house. And he takes in this girl who's he's helping out. And there's like a neighbor down the way that he likes, but she's got a boyfriend who's a doctor. How do you compete with that? And he used to be like a music critic, right? Is that what he used to be?
Yeah.
So he's really
and
big
he
into
wrote
music and
books.
stuff like. Yeah, and he wrote a
He's
book
like an
about the
author.
songs, like songs to break up to, or 100 greatest songs, or whatever, you know. And so it's all based around that. And so it's sort of like a, I don't know. I mean, right now I think we're only on episode 4 or 5. There's 3 seasons of this.
It's short episodes.
Yeah, they're only like 20 minutes long. It's like watching a Seinfeld episode. But man, some of their one-liners that they say are pretty funny.
His one-liners
Yeah.
are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he writes it.
I don't know if he writes it or not, honestly. I do not know. I should have looked into that.
Well, that's okay. I shouldn't.
But it looks like this show is made like for
I feel
him.
like you always
know what I mean?
all the things.
It seems like this was self-made for him or something.
Yeah, that's
you know
why
what I mean?
I was like, did he write it?
Yeah.
Because it seems like
It's a lot of his
who
kind of
he
humor.
is.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like watching, like, you know, Swingers or Made, you know, something that had Vince Vaughn in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of got that kind of
He
vibe.
has that vibe. He
For
has
sure.
a Vince Vaughn vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, we're going to go see Quiet Place tonight.
We are. We're going to go
So
check
that'll
out
be on
Quiet
the
Place.
next
That'll be on the
one.
next one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are we going to see a concert here soon?
Well, no, not until August.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay.
we're going to be going to see
Yeah.
Gaslight Anthem. I just was talking to a guy at Target today. He's like, hey, dude, I like your shirt. And I was like, yeah, man, they're going to be playing in August. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to the show. Da, da, da. Like, right on, I'll see you there.
Right on.
Like, man, I'm running into more people, like the girl at the movie place. She's like, hey, I like your shirt. And it was a Bouncing Souls one. Like, all right, more people are finally paying attention. To the
You're
good
finding
stuff.
your people, baby.
I'm finding people. But yeah, I thought that
people.
was funny. But yeah, we're not doing that until, that's the earliest one. That's like August 19th, 16th.
Okay, so
something
it's
like
not. Yeah.
that. Still have about a month off. A little month and a half.
Yeah.
Yep.
Around
But-
the corner. Well, what kind of music are we going out to?
Well, I don't know. I thought we'd go out with something a little bit more old school. I don't know, like in the early 80s, there was a band called the Blasters. Kind of late 70s, early 80s. And they used to play with like X. I don't know if anyone remembers X. They used to be an old school punk band. In fact, I think they just have a new album that came out. They've been promoting them like crazy in LA and Long Beach at Alex's Bar and stuff like that. I guess they just played. But they used to play with Black Flag and, you know, and all these guys.
Wow, okay.
So it's some old school. They're like more rockabilly than anything else. It's more of a rock. You'll hear it in their
rockabilly.
songs. But yeah, I mean, they're really good stuff. So this is the Blasters with their song Real Rock Drive. You guys take care out there.
Oh, yeah. We love you guys. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, and have a good 4th, guys. Be safe.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Please don't drink. and
Remember,
drive.
if you shoot off your fireworks, don't shoot them into the minivan.
Or towards the children.
Or towards the children. Yeah. Shoot them away from the children. Into the sky. Shoot them at the sun. All right, guys. You guys have a great week. Happy 4th!
Sun goes down and moon shines bright this time. Go fall on Saturday night. We gather around like we That's